Are you, as a Christian man who confess Christianity, willing to wait until marriage for sex? Are you honestly celibate or abstinent?
So no, I have not abstained. I'm gonna be very honest about that. And I think that's a problem with Christian men, single men. We say the right things on stage when we get in front of the body of the Christ, but we won't be honest.
Teach.
So the mature part of me was sit here and say, no, I have not been abstinent. Am I willing to wait? Absolutely.
I'm currently in that season where I'm doing so. I feel like the right woman for you will allow you also to flee from sin, and the wrong woman will get you closer to it. And so for me, like, sex doesn't come in my mind when I'm not looking at you as an object. I'm looking at you as a partner, as somebody who I can grow with and love. And so I think sometimes when we're immature in our spirit, ourself, we're looking for the wrong things. But when you're looking for the right thing, it's actually a lot easier than you think. So for me, it's very easy, but I'm also very single. So I haven't been tempted like that. I'm just being honest. Like, don't put me in positions, and I won't put myself in positions, so that we can together honor God and our relationship in the covenant, so that when we get married, it's much more special.
You said something really key too. In seasons where you're practicing abstinence, you'll find challenges with women that don't respect your abstinence, correct?
Yo, man, I knew you was gonna go there.
I had to.
I was gonna skip that.
No, I want to say that. Because a lot of times they always put the onus on the man and be like, these men not waiting. But I've had my experiences out in these dating streets, and some of that adversity come from these women. And so y'all have heard me talk about it in season 2 of my podcast. I took a vow of abstinence. I've always been transparent about that. I've had my wins. I'll be abstinent for about 7 to 8 months, and I'll fall off for about a year. This ain't gonna be a safe space. This ain't gonna be a space. If this ain't gonna be a safe space, I'm gonna leave. It's testimony time. The math ain't math, and I understand. And we ain't going day for day. I'm saying that I've been having sex a long time. I'm 46 years old. When you're trying to stop a habit, it takes a little time, okay? I'll be abstinent for about 7 to 8 months. I fall off about a year. I'll be abstinent again about 9 months. Fall off at 13 months. So I'm back abstinent again. And so God be taking too long to bring my wife. I can be abstinent if I can meet my wife around 6 months to 8 months. I'd been abstinent when we got married. I would have saved myself for her. But the way this math is math, and it just ain't adding up right. So I'm trying. Y'all pray for me. Pray for my strength in the Lord. That's what they used to say in the back of the day. Pray for my strength in the Lord. So my goal and desire is to operate in discipline. The reason why it's so important to me is because God told me when I was in my early 20s, God says you'll never be faithful to your wife unless you first become faithful to me. And he said, while you are single, I am your lover. You are married to me. And so every time you step outside of me, then you're committing adultery on me. That's a hard pill to swallow. I keep cheating on God. I'm sorry, but my goal is to get to a place where I'm faithful to him. And what that did, that manifested in my marriage because I wasn't disciplined in that area. I didn't kill that Goliath before it became a Goliath in my life. And then what happened, because you got to kill those things while they're still little baby Goliaths, because they're going to rear their heads up real big in your marriage. And then you'll have to try to fight that thing, or that thing may overthrow you. And I've been very transparent that I was unfaithful in my past marriage several times. And then I said, okay, I didn't even like who I became in that marriage. And I said, you know what, God, I don't like me. And so the Dear Future Wifey podcast was birthed after my divorce, after I filed for divorce. I said, I got to go to a place of healing because I no longer like who I am. And I'm going to have a space on the internet where I can be transparent, where I can be vulnerable. Coined the moniker Lit, where I can live intentionally and transparently. And I'm a be me. God knows who I am. I can't hide myself from God. So I ain't scared of none of y'all out there. And so what happens is I said, I'm gonna be very transparent with God. And I said, I can't be the only person going through this thing and navigating through these spaces. And so I use the Dear Future Wifey podcast as my online journal to go through healing. And so, and I'm excited about what God has been able to do in this journey. But best believe that my goal is to be disciplined in the area of my body. I want to consecrate my body before the Lord so that I can offer myself as a sacrifice to my wife, holy and pleasing, acceptable, not only to God, but for her too. That is the goal. That is the mission. I am the terrorist and I approve my own message.
Is it okay to be engaged in premarital sex and still tell people, hey, look, but you shouldn't do it?
No, like being a man of faith, I stand on flee all sexual morality. People have fallen short, but that's the standard, and so that's what we're aiming for. So if the bull's eye is flee all sexual immorality, you know where to aim. If you don't have a bullseye, you'll live aimless. So every female's getting hit with your lust because there's no target. Does that make sense? So like my target is purity. So anytime I converse with a young lady, if that's not her target as well, that's irrefutable evidence distraction. So it's the commonality of our targets that make it easier for us to exercise purity. But if you don't have a target and she don't have a target, your relationship's gonna be aimless the whole time. I think there's a marriage between belief and action. When it comes to the lukewarm conversation, so it's almost like 50 shades, Christian shades of gray.
Right.
It's like
It's a spectrum.
Yeah,
It's a spectrum.
don't put me white, don't put me black. We love gray, contrast. So for me, from a biblical definition of lukewarm, is those that really don't follow the teachings of Christ but claim him at the same time. It's like me saying I'm a married man but living single. That's lukewarm. I say I love Tanisha. I'm wearing this ring right now. We're celebrating 12 years of marriage in July. But if you look at the way I live, you would not know I'm married. That's lukewarm.
Okay. I mean,
But even if your heart, so
It don't matter, bro. If I say I love Tanisha with my whole heart, I'm claiming her and I'm talking how much I love her, but you see me doing things with multiple women,
yeah,
I'm not living as though I'm married.
if you're out here having sex, aren't you automatically lukewarm?
that's what I'm
Well,
thinking.
yeah, I mean, the Bible clearly says that we should flee sexual morality, but I think the difference between mistakes and lukewarm is the lukewarm are living in a lifestyle of gray. They're living in a lifestyle, which is why Jesus is like, yo, I'd rather you hot or I'd rather you cold. It's basically saying, yo, be married to me or not, but don't rock me, but live single. So I think that's probably the easiest way, because the same way we would be upset about things if we had a wife and she were to do certain things and she's like, yeah, I love you, but I'm just doing my thing right now. I'm just having an hour.
Right.
I'm just having a season.
Yeah.
It would bother the mess out of us. And yet alone, we don't want to die in the lukewarm phase, because you know how much money you have in your bank. You don't know how much time you have on your clock. There's areas of growth.
You have to watch the game film and see, what have I been doing that has not worked? So I've been with X amount of people and I've slept with X amount of people. How many rings did that get you? How many real love commitments did that produce? So if you still not happily married with the person of your dreams, then what you've been doing was doing it the wrong way. And if you've been on your back, or if you've had your pants unzipped, then you need to start doing things differently. And here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. When you come in and you remove that, you take that off the table, now you're able to talk to this person with a clear mind, with a clear conscience. You can hear what he or she is saying. You can see what he or she is doing. And with this, now you get to evaluate them. So see, when you have that on the table, getting on your back, when you have that on the table, guess what? Every time you do that, your body is releasing, your brain is releasing chemicals into your bloodstream. And that dopamine, serotonin, you're feeling good. You're feeling high. It's a ecstasy. It's this emotion that you feel. And because the bodies were intertwined, it actually brings you closer to that person physically and also spiritually and emotionally. So you feel a closeness, even if you thought it was a one night stand, wham bam, thank you ma'am. No, the bodies were intertwined and there was some juices being shared. And so for one, it's very risky because the juices could have bacteria that could alter your life forever. And then two, it also is a tie that now you at best will only be able to minimize it to the point that it doesn't consciously affect you, but that tie will always be there. So when you do that, it also alters your thinking. So guess what? Think about, a person who's high. You bump into somebody who's high. They talk different. They evaluate things different. They see things differently. They experience the world different. They feel different. The way they process things in the world, they feel it differently because they're high. The same thing happens when you on your bike. You will process things differently because of that artificial connection that you have with this person. So you're looking at things, but you're looking at it through this lens of, oh, that felt good. Oh man, oh wee. Woo. So now the conversation feels better. Everything feels better because your brain has given your body that release. So you might see something that's a red flag and you'll overlook it because you high. But they say drunk in love. And so because of that, you're not processing what you need to process because your legs open. But see, when you take that off, think about it like the senses. You know how when you got 5 senses, you got 5 senses. So guess what? People who can't see, they can hear very, very well. People who can't hear, they can see very, very well. People who can't hear or see, they can feel and sense very, very well. So when one sense is cut off, the others are magnified, intensified. So the same thing happens. So when you are dating someone, you need to be seeing, hearing, and feeling. But also, when you're using your brain, you're able to read between the lines. So now you can interpret what you're seeing, hearing, and feeling. But when you take and you get on your bike, now you are inebriated and you drunk in lust, not love. So now you cannot see, hear, and feel what you need to. So, but when you remove that, now all of your senses are intensified. They are magnified. They are stronger. So the things that would have gotten by you after getting off your back, now you see it plain and clear. It's in broad daylight. It's slapping you in the face. Front hand, backhand, front hand, backhand, front hand, backhand. That's how it's slapping you. It's just so plain and clear. You like, whoa. So now you also get to see how this person views you. And not only do you get to see how this person views you, you get to see how this person views themselves. So if a person is ready to jump in the bed, now you know they see you as an object for their pleasure, meaning you a play toy. You are a tool for them to use. The other thing, it tells you that he or she does not value their body, and that if they're so ready to have your body, then they give their body away willy-nilly. And if they give their body away willy-nilly, that means they can bring you home a gift that keeps on giving, a gift that is wrapped in a bow, but it's actually a jack in the box that's going to jump out and punch you in the nose and keep punching you. So now when they want to go there and you won't let them go there, now you get to hear the conversation. But you get to hear the conversation, but you got go-go gadget ears now. Now your ears, they like satellite radars. Now you can hear, you can feel, you can sense everything. Your eyes, you got go-go gadget eyes. You watching everything, you picking up on everything. Nothing is getting by you. And then now you get to see and hear their true intentions. Now you get to see any frustration, any anger, any chauvinistic behavior. Now you're able to pay attention because you remove that sleeping together off the table. And see, this is the benefit of it.